Hi, everybody. Glenn Hausman here, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that you've arrived. Now, listen, one of the issues that I have out there is the lack of focus of hoteliers on creating a strong revenue management strategy. Now, I know a lot of you out there say, hey, poo-poo, I don't need it. No big deal. I can do it myself. But honestly, in the COVID crisis we had in this past year, everything has changed. It is incumbent upon all hoteliers out there to think differently about the way that they're not only going to get people into a hotel, but how much you're going to be able to charge them. I'm seeing too much money left on the table, and that's why I've got the good folks over at Topline RM talking to me today, Connor Vanderholm and John Baker. Guys, so great to see you. John, I got to ask you, why is it so important right now to engage in revenue management and really think things through in a different way than folks were doing prior to the pandemic?
Well, Glenn, first of all, appreciate you having us on here. It's really great to be here and be able to talk about it. What I want to do is, first off, kind of squash that thing that you brought up about revenue management being difficult and hard.
Right.
It's not true. It's convenient to say when we're running a hotel and we're really busy and all these things, we're trying to find employees to do things that we need them to do. Mm-hmm. But with all things considered, it's more about consistent management and methodology. What are we pacing? What are we picking up? What are we actually bringing in at night? And how do we use this knowledge to forecast and make or capitalize on our opportunities as we go forward? That's what revenue management is.
Right. That makes sense. So, Connor, thinking about this, what are some of the important reasons that you actually use a smart, coherent revenue strategy? And I totally get that hoteliers out there can't spend all of that time and effort in it. They got huge problems that they're dealing with still.
They do. Yeah, I was just speaking to a regional director of sales yesterday with a management group of about 10 to 20 hotels. And it was put on her plate during the pandemic to be both the revenue manager for several of these hotels on top of her duties. And that's just not a sustainable model, because the revenue manager's job, while it's not difficult in itself, it can be very complex, and there's a lot of things to do. And so it's very busy, a lot of tedious stuff. And you have to have a keen eye to know exactly what you're looking for. And everybody's already overwhelmed. Our staff is already overwhelmed, on property. And so I think that adding to their plate for the long term is not a great strategy overall.
Let me add one more thing onto that. I'm sorry. You don't want your director of sales doing your revenue management. Right. Have you ever heard of, tying up your inventory for groups?
Right.
It's not a great idea. You need to have a little bit of pushback between the two. I'm not saying it doesn't work for them, but it's just something to think about.
Well, it's not that it works or doesn't work for them. I see that move as CEOs trying to figure out a way to retain as many great people as possible. That worked at a very specific point in time. We're past that time now. Right. We're trying to get back to it. Customers are coming in numbers that we never expected to see at this very big moment in history. But I got to tell you, John, sometimes the information that's out there is a little bit confusing, especially when it comes to star reports and stuff like that. It's almost impossible to figure out rates if you're looking at something from a year ago when I was sitting here hoping I was going to be allowed to go outside again, let alone think about planning a trip or a business trip, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And to just build off of that, Glenn, we're looking at it, and it's pretty standardized that star reporting is the go-to for lodging when we're comparing performance. There's no doubts about it.
Right.
The last year, personally, I've been a little bit confused about the celebration that some of these companies have in regards to their claimed growth. Mm-hmm. They very well may have grown in their comp set, but let's talk about the fact that lots of hotels closed, lots of hotels shut down inventory, lots of hotels laid off a ton of people. We're all seeing that as a problem. So this data isn't really transparent and give us the full picture. We even had one of our own hotels that we talked to, and it's like, man, we had great star reports. And then we start to look at, what's going on, and one of the hotels closed for renovations. Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely. We did good, but that's not a true indicator of your performance. So, and even more so now, we're looking at COVID-19 coming in and absolutely decimating entire market segments.
Right.
So if you have a brand that's more focused on your CNRs and those types of businesses, and it just all but disappeared, then you've got a problem. You need to look at a segmented star a little bit more so than just a normal weekly star or whatever what everybody basically gets. But right. If we can look at a segment and see what's coming to the area and how we can capitalize on those opportunities and forecast for growth in that way, that's what we need to do. But as you said, we're bringing in lots more business now, more so than we had thought that we would see at this time, especially when we're still concerned whether or not we can even go outside. So this is why you need revenue management. you need to be able to look at that, and you may be able to shift back to your normal faster than you thought you could. But that's going to take managing inventory, managing yield strategies for different accounts, and there's a whole list of things. I said it wasn't difficult. It's not. It's more about consistent management methodology, as long as you know.
And time consuming, right?
Yes.
Time you don't need to be spending when you could partner with a great organization outside your hotel. Plus, they might see things with a little bit clearer eyes. Connor, what is the importance of partnering with somebody with a revenue strategy in the sense of what can actually be accomplished? Not the needs for it, but the results of it.
Yeah. So I would say first, the results would be savings of money for sure for hoteliers that need that right now. It's going to cost you a ton to hire a revenue manager to do the work that we can do for you, or that another revenue consultancy firm can do for you. The results, as far as the revenue gain, have been huge for the hotels that we've partnered with through this pandemic. Consistently outperforming the comp set, and that's just going back to John's. That may not be the best metric, but I guess the ease of mind knowing that somebody's consistently watching and consistently making moves for your hotel is huge. And then taking that burden off of your staff is, in more ways than one, a huge benefit to any hotel.
Staff? What staff?
Yeah, what staff?
Right? Exactly. That seems to be a big problem. So I got to tell you, I want to learn more. I'm interested in understanding the philosophy behind revenue management strategy, et cetera, et cetera. How do we find you guys over at Topline RM to learn a lot more?
Yep. So just go to our website, which is toplinerm.com. You can also reach out to us via email, info@toplinerm.com.
Right. Excellent. Thanks so much for being here. So listen, guys, this is absolutely essential. When you're talking about what the brands are focused on when it comes to revenue management, they don't look at hotels the same way customers look at hotels. Customers engage in staying at a property much differently than the hotel industry thinks they do. Don't get caught up. Get a revenue management strategy company out there, such as the guys at Topline RM, because quite frankly, you need it, and you're having trouble finding employees anyway. Offload that hard work, get more money, maximize your revenue every single night. I'm Glenn Hausman. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.